Out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He has a professional record of 23 wins, 1 defeat, with 9.
Defending his title for the second time against Marlon Starling. Curry, the ever-so-quiet champion. Young man who hasn't got much charisma, but he lets his gloves do his talking for him when he is in the boxing ring. And Starling, very loose-looking challenger who clowned around in the first fight. And he says he'll put all that behind him and get down to serious business here in this second chance against this man. The champion, Donald Curry, the WBA champ from Fort Worth in Texas. Half this crowd or more from the Hartford area, the hometown of Starling. So he's got plenty of vocal support, ranked number 2 behind Curry by the WBA. The referee is Joe Cortez from New York. And it's underway. The taller man by an inch is the champion Curry, with a 2-inch reach advantage over Starling, who calls himself the Magic Man. Starling, with no 15-round experience, may be tested later on. Their first battle was a 12-rounder in a split decision. Very close, going in favor of Donald Curry. Both men are good defensive boxers. Keep their guard up tight. Starling going on the attack early. Starting to go right with Donald Curry. Curry, remember, has not had very much work in the last year or so. After his winning the championship last February, he fought less than a round, knocking out Roger Stafford in Marsala, Italy, over the Labor Day weekend. Starling has had half a dozen fights. Next to 3 years of professional experience. He wants this title very, very badly. Curry coming on a little better now after a very cautious opening 30 seconds against Starling, trying to contain him on the ropes over on the far side. There was not much sustained action in the first fight. The expectation here was that once they get warm, once they get the feel of each other, things will open up. Both men saying it should not go the 15-round distance, although many at ringside feel it will. Nonetheless, a good matchup between Starling and Curry. They test the respective bodies with less than half the first round remaining. Best action so far in the bout. Starling has spent a lot of time against the ropes and now in the corner. They call Curry the Cobra, likes to move in and out. But here he's been pressing consistently forward the last minute or so against Marlon Starling in this first round, scheduled for 15, the WBA Welterweight Championship on the line here in Atlantic City. Curry likes to move around the ring. He's in there like a brawler, holding his ground, trying to stay right on top of Starling. It was Starling who said he would try to cut the ring down on Donald Curry and contain him. It has worked the other way around so far in this very first round. Left 30 seconds to go in round 1. Curry coming on impressively in the past couple of minutes after that cautious start. They are loading up, giving us an indication indeed it may not go the 15 rounds. The quick hands of Starling knocking out his best combination. Curry with the left of the body. Left hook rocks Starling back. So a good test of what is to come here in Atlantic City. Seconds winding down in round 1. At Atlantic City, Donald Curry taking the edge over Starling, and surprisingly in the first round, the latter half of it, moving right in and staying on top of his man. Curry obviously intent on proving he is a legitimate champion. The WBC Welterweight King, Milt McCrory, among those in the audience today. He too wants a crack at Sugar Ray Leonard down the road sometime, as these two, Starling and Curry, do. Starling's loss, he estimates, cost him about $1.5 million in purse money and set him back a year and a half in his pursuit of this championship. That was the loss 15 months ago. That went the distance from what we saw in the first round. This one may not. Curry again going right after his man in round 2. No clowning from Starling. He is all business here. And has his hands full with the champion Curry. Good combination by Starling, teeing off on Curry's head. Remember, Curry hasn't had much ring activity, just the 2/3 of a round or less against Roger Stafford over in Marsala, Italy, way back in September. So practically a round in the last year. is all that Donald Curry is seeing in the way of ring activity. He may want to try to take Starling out of here early. 15 rounds, maybe too much of a test, but he's in supreme condition. Had trouble the first time making the weight, but had no difficulty today. Again, we note the different tactics being used by Donald Curry. Not very much movement. He's toe-to-toe and content to stay there with Starling. This is the way Starling wanted the fight to go. Without having to chase him. Gets him the uppercut there, Starling does. And Curry responds with one of his own with the left hand, going underneath with it. Now holding in the center of the ring. Shoulder to shoulder, as you can see. Both men hitting hard. I would suggest that Curry has hit the harder of the two. He's off with a good right. Right above us on the ropes here in Atlantic City. Starling, for the first time, he said he would not showboat, dropped the guard, paid for it as Donald Curry continues to rain punches all over him and looks to be winning the second round rather handily. This may not be the best tactic for Starling against a man who can hit as hard with either hand as Curry. Less than 30 seconds to go in round two. It is scheduled for 15. Hard to believe from what we've seen so far it's going to go 15 rounds. Just timing that combination as Curry hangs on to him now after a very active second round here at Atlantic City. That'll take care of round two. Round three at Atlantic City is underway. Curry taking every available second on that stool. He's very busy hurling leather at Starling, whose strategy would be very, very dangerous, allowing Curry to tee up as hard and as often as he did in the first couple of rounds, in particular in the second round. Starling hasn't been hurt particularly. A matter of getting worn down by all those blows so early as he digs the right hand in the body of the champion Donald Curry. Curry trying to penetrate with the jab with the following right hand, always poised and ready for action from the man they call the Cobra. Just 22 years, a top Olympian in 1980 when the games were boycotted in Moscow. His brother Bruce recently lost his super welterweight world championship. That's been weighing on Donald Curry's mind here as he's intent on retaining his. Starling continues to be quite willing to stay inside and brawl it out with Curry. Curry obviously a winner in the first two rounds. Both men have quick hands. Both have relied on defense in the past, but Starling forced into a lot of defense in the early going here at Atlantic City today. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line. At the end of this round, we'll take a station break. This is round number 3, scheduled for 15. The WBA World Welterweight Championship on the line, and down the line, Sugar Ray Leonard perhaps for the winner. Leonard feels that people like Curry and Milt McCrory are just caretaking the title for him. Curry rips into Starling over on the ropes. Again, Starling allows himself to be contained there and takes punishment in the process. Starling has had the chopping left hand as about the only offensive weapon that has gotten through the defense of Curry. Shoulder to shoulder they remain here to the third round in Atlantic City. Not the boxing match that many thought we might see, with the movement by the speedy Cobra Curry and the pursuit by Starling. It's been mostly toe-to-toe and much of it against the ropes. Right now, the center of the ring, more punishment being handed out by Curry. And these blows, repeated blows, have to wear his man down. Well, Starling certainly looks fresh enough at this point, considering the pounding he's been taking, the kind of fight it has developed into. Just 10 seconds remaining, and this is the third round here at Atlantic City. We'll return with more of ABC's Wild World of Sports after this from our local station. 2-917-8000. Round number 4 is underway at Atlantic City. Don Chevrier ringside with you on Wide World of Sports for Donald Curry and Marlon Starling. 3 good opening rounds for the champion Curry in the yellow trunks. Every indication, as we had suggested, that neither match wants this to go 15 rounds. There certainly is no indication it will by the early banging we've seen. However, if they're hurting, it doesn't show. Neither man appears the worse for wear at this stage. Both unmarked. Little uppercut, close range but effective as the 2 left hooks come through from Starling. But the much busier of the 2 is Curry. Shoulder to shoulder and off that little break. Good combination by Starling, followed by the driving left of the body by Curry. And now it is tee-off time again. Both men perhaps are so confident of their defensive skills they're allowing this to happen. It's not bothering them very much. Confident of their punching power that they can be the winner in that contest. But it is a contest of power and of brawling here in Atlantic City today. Good uppercut by Starling, followed by the right. He may have rocked Curry a little bit there. Curry leans in on him now. The most effective sequence so far by Starling, and this pro-Starling crowd from the Connecticut area comes alive. Curry now keeping more of a distance after that little exchange. Moochie is the nickname of Starling, and that's what they're chanting in the background here. 2 quick lefts by Starling, followed by a left. Right missing by Donald Curry. Starling has looked the best of the day in this round, no question. Losing 3-0 through the first 3 rounds, but may well be on his way to winning round 4. About 40 seconds in, a different Starling began to emerge, and he did sting Donald Curry. Continues to hurt him there with the uppercut. The question is, will Curry, who initiated this kind of tactic and Starling allowed him to do it, boring in on him, will he allow this to continue, or will he start to show us his movement around the ring that has characterized his young professional career? Almost to the end of round number 4, scheduled for 15. Here, Curry and Starling. Round underway in Atlantic City, and a good 4th round it was for the challenger Starling in the turquoise trunks down the right. After Curry had reeled off what appeared to be 3 straight rounds to his credit. Watch now to see if the strategy, the tactics will change. See if Curry will start to utilize that speed and avoid the close quarters that finally resulted in him suffering some punishment of that 4th round. But he'd gotten away with it nicely through the first 3. Starling now getting up on his toes. He's starting to dance and move for the first time in this bout here in round number 5. Curry is stalking him with that jab. The long arms, a 2-inch advantage in reach, remember, on Curry's part. Curry has been the aggressor throughout. The style is changing here. It's more of a boxing match with the speed of hands and feet being utilized in the 5th round. Starling initiated it. Curry glad to respond now. Perhaps this is the kind of fight he always wanted. A quick combination. Fast hands and evidence again by Starling. No question, this is a better matchup than the one WBC title holder McCrory had 3 weeks ago against Milton Guest near Detroit. He had no trouble with Guest, but this one is up for grabs here in the 5th round. Bruce Curry having lost his super welterweight crown to Billy Costello. Donald can't avenge that, at least uphold his half of the championships these 2 brothers had here today. And he's got his hands full now with Starling. They, of course, were the first 2 brothers ever in professional boxing history to hold world championships. Curry, I would suggest, is hitting the harder of the 2. But you have to be impressed with the sting, and there is some in Starling's punches, but his great hand speed. They are matched very, very well. And how different this 5th round is from the previous 4. Starling still dancing as he came out of the 5th round doing. But no matter the style, Starling content to be the effective counterpuncher, which he has at times. Curry, the aggressor. And I can't have feeling this is where Donald Curry wants his man. Let those long arms go to work for him. He suffered damage in the 4th round when Starling got inside on him. We come down out of the end of the 5th round here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Round number 6 is underway at Atlantic City. 3 good opening rounds for the champion in the gold trunks, Donald Curry. Got a comeback by Starling in the 4th round. On the 5th, they went to the center of the ring where they remain now at long range. Those hooks, those jabs coming through. Starling very busy early in round 6. I'd have to rate the 5th round about even, with Curry still in the lead from his showing in the first 3, but Starling coming on a little better. Starling, who clowned his way to the first fight and has lived to regret it, is all business here. He said he would fight from bell to bell. Indeed, he has, although the tactics have changed as the fight has continued now into the 2nd, 3rd. Good right throw quickly by Curry, with Starling over in the corner. Starling trying to bull his way back to the center of the ring. He was content to lay on those ropes earlier and counterpunch. Gets out of it nicely with the left, as Curry misfires in the combination. It was difficult for the very telling pace, punishing pace of the first 3 rounds to imagine that would continue. And indeed, this bout has opened up a little bit more. The action certainly better than it was the first time. It was a bit of a groaner when it was fought. The split decision 15 months ago going to Curry. Starling's chance to avenge that today with a championship being thrown in for good measure, the WBA welterweight crown. Midway in round 6, still a very vocal pro Marlon Starling crowd from Hartford, Connecticut. I would think that pace is going to have to become a consideration on the part of both men before long. Still have 9 rounds to go here, scheduled for 15. And it's been a punishing opening half-dozen rounds almost. Both young. Starling 25, Curry just 22. Both trained very well for this bout. Curry in the warm air of Arizona before coming in just 48 hours to fight time. Good left hook. There's the right. He's got Starling in trouble now. Backs him across the ring. An effective series of blows by Donald Curry with his long arms of his really slowed Starling down. He's holding on, trying to buy a little bit of time now. Punishing left, followed by the right. Good defense by Marlon Starling, but it has been penetrated by Curry on that exchange. Just 20 seconds to go in this round, and the latter 30 or 40 seconds, all Donald Curry's. Curry looked like he might have been stung on the 4th. He's stinging him again here. Drives him back down to the Starling corner. So a good finishing kick put on by Donald Curry here in round number 6. Round in Atlantic City. Starling lunging out at Curry right from the bell. He was stunned by Donald Curry late in round number 6, a round you'd have to give to Curry for that final minute. Non-stop assault on Marlon Starling. Not quite halfway through this bout yet. These 2 men have got a long way to go. They've both taken punishment. Curry looked strung on the 4th round, and Starling surely was late in round number 6. And this is where Donald Curry wants the fight to be fought, at long range. He went with it for 3 rounds, trying to wear Starling down. And the tactics by Starling looked to be suicidal. Then he got up at his toes, Marlon did, into the 4th round. It paid off for him. Might have won the 4th round, the 5th about even. Curry likely won the 6th round with his fine finish. After a hook by Starling, the jamming right hand thrown through by Donald Curry. see Curry back up. He wants to use the long arms. Goes back inside again. That's why they call him the Cobra. He'll get you as he's springing back. He is so quick. He has tremendous hand speed. Not to say that Starling doesn't by any means. He's a very quick man, too. Both good defensive boxers, and they have had to be the way this fight has gone. Neither cut, neither seriously hurt. No knockdown. Curry continues to be the aggressor. See Starling back up so far, stop, and lunge with the left hand to try to cut off the assault by Curry. Hammers him now with a couple of good blows, 3 of them. 2 with the left hand, 1 with the right, Curry does. All the infighting, it's got to be a bit of a test for the judges as to how to score this. Scoring philosophies come into play. Counter punches, Starling getting off a good series of blows. No question, the biggest fight of Starling's life, and perhaps the most important for Donald Curry, as he wants to continue in the role of champion with an eye to the Durans, the Pryors, and the Sugar Rays of this world down the road. Curry getting $250,000 for this title defense. Starling $100,000. After a flurry by Starling, 4 good blows landed from Curry. Less than 30 seconds to go in the 7th round. Curry continues to be the aggressor. Starling, the more than willing counterpuncher, and has been effective in that counterpunching role. But if the infighting confuses the judges, you look for an aggressor, you've got to favor Donald Curry the way this bout has gone. The 2 different styles of fighting they have shown us, 2 different halves of the first half of this fight. Well, that is the end of round number 7 here in Atlantic City. A spirited WBA World Welterweight Championship. I'd like to remind you tomorrow, the Superstars featuring the women's final from Key Biscayne, Florida. And the U.S. battles the Soviet Union in USA versus the World Amateur Boxing from Moscow. ABC's Wide World of Sports, 4:30 Central. The Superbikers feature the championship final and the U.S. Figure Skating Championships from Salt Lake City, Utah, where you'll see the pairs and the ice dancing championships as they tune up for Sarajevo and the Winter Olympics next week. Both men taking all the time allowed on their respective stools in the corners here in Atlantic City as they prepare for round number 8. The aggressiveness of Curry has to have impressed the judges. This is round number 8. Approach the midway point of this scheduled 15-round WBA World Welterweight Championship. This is 7 times longer than Donald Curry has fought in about a year. Took care of Roger Stafford in less than 2 minutes in Marsala, Italy, back in September. The challenger Starling has been very, very busy. Very active fighter, 6 major bouts for him in 1983, and now one of the biggest for him, a chance for the championship against Curry today. Second time around. In case you missed it earlier, a split decision 15 months ago for Curry. He said his ribs bothered him, had trouble making the weight, was 4 pounds over the morning of the fight. Starling said he clowned, didn't take care of business properly, wasn't serious. So now is the real test between these two. You can tell they both want this very, very badly. Curry continues to stalk Starling. But Starling, like a cagey fox, has drawn him in and responded very well from those situations on or near the ropes. Midway in round number 8. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line. At the end of this round, we'll take a station break. Starling on his toes, dancing around. He's showing the movement. Curry holding his ground, plodding in. Walking him around this ring very slowly. Starling wild wild as he lunged out there. And the question is now, is either fighter, perhaps Starling, tiring a little bit at this stage, the 8th round? Halfway point. Starling has never gone 15 rounds, remember, has gone 12, did so the first time against Curry. So far, as a good chopping right comes through, followed by a combination by Starling, the inactivity by Curry does not appear to have bothered him too much in the first half. Both men perspiring freely out of this intense action on these lights, as you might imagine. Less than 20 seconds to go in the 8th round, and Starling, with a good burst there, brought his supporters to their feet and became a little more vocal. We'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this from our local station. Round 9 underway in Atlantic City. Donald Curry appears to be very much in command of this bout. The only blemish on the scorecard for him, apart from a couple of rounds that may have been even, was a real good 4th round by Starling. Curry's corner a moment ago urging him to let it out. They felt he had stung him back in that last round, but Starling with those snapping hands is doing a little bit of damage to Curry too, but he can't keep him from pouring in on him. Notice the very quick hand speed of both boxers. Both have knockout ability, no question. 12 in 17 straight wins by Curry. 20 in 32 bouts. 31 of them wins by Marlon Starling. Curry with a combination rips through the defense of Starling. Curry is getting there first. He is getting there more frequently. And has to be wearing his man down, you would think. Curry has to be piling up points here, if not indeed inflicting as much pain as it might appear on Starling. Starling seems to be all right. Again, no marks on either fighter. Nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. Each man was rocked, not staggered, but a little shaken on one occasion each previously. We're midway in the 9th round. Tee-off time again for Donald Curry. Starling now holding on a little bit more. He doesn't want to admit to his man that he's tired. Still got some sting left as he lunges out there with a combination, the finish of which came up short. Got a minute left in this, the 9th round. These two fine welterweights have certainly worked for their payday this day. Two good scoring blows quickly thrown by Don Curry. He looks the stronger of the two, the sharper of the two at this stage. Starling's timing looks to be a little off now, and that could be a sign of fatigue. He may be looking for that one good punch to deck Curry. He may feel, as we feel, that he is sufficiently behind in this bout as we now get down to the final seconds of the 9th round. 3 good blows thrown just there. Both got to be tired, but Curry looks to be a little bit the fresher of the two. So round 9 is in its final stages in Atlantic City. Chevrier back with you for the 10th round, the WBA World Welterweight Championship. Marlon Starling, no means in desperate trouble here. Looks though he has paid the price in terms of being worn down by Donald Curry through 9 rounds. No question, Curry much more active of the two in terms of scoring blows. But Starling, certainly game, certainly willing to mix it. He's being outpunched 3, 4, 5 to 1, and there takes a whole series of blows. A lot of them bounced off the gloves, but it shows you the volume of activity, and some of them did get through his scoring blows. Curry got pushed away now. Referee Joe Cortez gets in between them for a long break. While the WBA Championship's on the line, the newly formed International Boxing Federation will also recognize the winner as their champion. An effort to try to unify a very confusing sport these days with all manner of champions, different organizations. Larry Holmes will soon defend for the International Boxing Federation his heavyweight championship. This defense will be against Johnny Tate, which Holmes should be a very, very big favorite. Here, Curry was the slight favorite and has borne that out. Through 9 rounds plus so far. Just a little bit sharper, a little bit more coming from Curry. More and more as the bout progresses. 2 good chopping blows off the head of Marlon Starling. The clown who was taken off his funny suit for this one. He's serious and has to be. His supporters very quiet the last half dozen rounds or so after a big 4th by Starling. Starling's supporters are in the majority here at Ballys Park Place Hotel in Atlantic City today. Starling fighting only in flurries now. More so than before. Curry continues to stay right on top of his man, and stinging combinations thrown there by Donald Curry. Sharp, crisp scoring blows all getting through. Now, Marlon Starling wants to make this a blow. He may start to feel now he has to take him out. Rock Curry with a good counter punch. That brought his supporters to their feet. They are slugging it out of the center of this ring at Atlantic City in the final 15 seconds of round number 10. It's gone from close infighting to good boxing at long range to a brawl, and it's a brawl right now. Round number 10 has come to an end, and a spirited finish to it. Next Saturday in ABC's Wide World of Sports, the Ironman Triathlon World Championship from Hawaii. Competition which involves a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bicycle race, and a 26-mile marathon all in one day. The ultimate test of endurance. Plus the U.S. versus Cuba in amateur boxing next week at Wide World. That'll be a preview with Howard Cosell of the upcoming meet between the United States and Cuba. And all those things that the triathlon competitors will do in that show, probably these two feel they've done already here today, Donald Curry and Marlon Starling. It was Curry with all those scoring blows, those telling blows, and then Starling coming off the ropes, launching an assault of his own to produce an exciting finish to round number 10. But still it appeared to end the round on balance. Curry did more. First time Starling remained on his stool when the bell rang. He'd been the first man up until now. Both men with knockout on their minds. No question of that. Curry could perhaps of the two afford, as he snaps the left out effectively again, afford to be more cautious with what seems to be a pretty good sized lead. But the action here has been enormous, particularly in the last couple of rounds. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you might be as much as we are this afternoon from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Slugfest continues. 3 different kinds of fights we have had here, all embraced within one. Now it is headhunting time on both sides. But Curry continues to come forward. Complete-looking boxer. Starling, no pushover. He's shown that. Starling has stunned Curry a couple of times. His effective counterpunching, but the man who's taken charge, the man who's been the aggressor, and the man who has forced much of the action is Curry. There'll be a couple of tired young welterweights when this one's over today. Midway now in round number 11. Point to remember, Starling has not gone the 15-round distance, nor has Curry had to go 15 rounds in almost a year. Going back to last February when he won this WBA championship. Less than a minute now left in round 11. Curry tries to pin him on those ropes. Starling becoming a more effective counterpuncher as he goes along here. Those are all blows the judges have to recognize. Two more with the left hand. Curry missing with his left in response. Coming down to about 20 seconds of round 11 remaining. That'll do it for a very good 11th round. Boring in, and he paid for it. Now, back with you in round number 12. Don Chevrier, ringside, Atlantic City, for a tremendous battle for the welterweight championship. Donald Curry and Marlon Starling have given their all. I heard Starling's corner say you need every round. I also overheard Curry's corner tell him, be a little more cautious. Don't take so many chances inside there. Move around this ring and box and jab with him. That hasn't happened so far in this, the 12th round. It is scheduled for 15. That's what Curry likes to do. Long range, get the long arms out quickly, as he does so well. Starling comes back with a combination of his own. Wonder more and more why Starling chose to lay on the ropes and take the kind of punishment, particularly to the body, he did in the first 3 rounds. Conceivably, that could cost him in terms of stamina and endurance as he goes along here. We're in the 12th already. Curry with a solid body blow. And those body blows are what really wear you. Starling has not been able to get to Curry's body a great deal, but has fired some good headshots off to him. Good scoring blows, but not in abundance. The majority has gone to Donald Curry. Pretty complete show by Curry in this match today. And a pretty determined show by Marlon Starling. They have come to box, they have come to slug, and they have done it all. Best ones we've seen in a good long while. This welterweight championship bout. Curry now, spurry, half a dozen or more punches in rapid fire succession, driving Starling back to the corner from where he likes to counterpunch. But Curry won't get off his shoulder, finally separated by referee Joe Cortez. So we've almost reached the point the first bout did. 12 rounds in which Curry got a split decision. This one, however, will go, if it goes the distance, 3 more to the 15-round limit. There you see the time remaining in this, the 12th round. Curry, the dominant man in this 12th round. Piling up more points along the way to go up what looks like an already impressive lead that Donald Curry enjoys here in Atlantic City this afternoon. That's round 12. Is underway. Scheduled for 15, WBA Welterweight Championship. Don Chevrier at ringside with you. One of the better fights we've seen in a long while. Almost non-stop action between these two. Curry has a cut, maybe on his bottom lip. A little blood just showing up in the mouth. That happened to him in the first fight early on. Might have bothered him in the early stages of that fight, but it's coming on late here. That's the only mark on either man. There have been no knockdowns, and you wonder at times why there haven't been. The hitting has been that hard. Starling is going to have to let it all fly, I would think, in these last 2 rounds and change. Seems no doubt that Curry has built up a very impressive lead with a very complete performance in the ring. If there is any doubt on the part of judges, there will. Maybe, of course, this is where Marlon's going to have to show them. Going to have to show some of that magician, his nickname, magic, where his nickname comes from. He's tired, no question. He's dug down a couple of times, and he looked to be sagging for an extra reserve. was carried him through. Starling there with a combination coming out. Face of Donald Curry, the defending champion from Fort Worth, Texas. Remember, this is just the second title defense for Curry. The first was all too comfortable and easy. Roger Stafford did not last the first round. Now, after a layoff since September, Curry's come back looking very sharp. Starling has come in here looking prepared and looking serious, unlike the first time. He felt the clowning might have cost him that first opportunity with Curry. So a true test for both men, both healthy, both fine condition, and Lord knows they have to be with the action they put on here today. And Curry appears to be winning it. Curry trying to stick to that jab now and try to stay away from Starling a little bit without running from him. That's something Starling accused Curry of in the first fight. Running away from him in the final 30 seconds of the 13th round. It is scheduled for 15. And despite early indications, may well go that far. The first 3 rounds, that didn't seem possible. Starling has been busy, but not busy enough perhaps to pile up the approval of the judges he may need here in the late going. Seconds left now in the 13th round. This is the 14th round. Starling playing catch-up in a big way. It is Curry's fight so far, as he wrestles him down and goes down with him. That's the first time either man has hit the deck, and of course it's not a knockdown. Both are very tired, both still trying very, very hard. Starling in particular, the punches are still crisp. Timing, however, is starting to waver a little bit. But Starling has certainly proved a worthy contender, and Donald Curry a worthy champion in this bout here in Atlantic City this afternoon. Curry hammers him with the right hand, then the left as Starling might have been hurt as he backs against the ropes. And of course now at this stage, having been worn down, especially Starling with the body shots from Curry, to feel those things a little bit more. But Curry is not playing it safe here. His corner has been urging him to be a little more conservative and move and jab, but he is in there shoulder to shoulder and does run the risk of catching one from Starling that could turn everything over. We're midway now in round 14. Round and a half to go as the right hook catches Starling from Curry. Curry wading in with both hands. He is intent on going a full 15 rounds, slugging and brawling with this man. Here's where Starling's been effective. In the corner, coming off those ropes with the uppercuts and with the hooks. But it doesn't deter Curry from coming in. He still is intent on teeing off on him. Again, the body punches have been Curry's, and they've been telling blows, wearing blows. That happened earlier in the first 3 rounds with Starling on the ropes and Curry banging away to both the head and the body. Starling still game, however. You got to give him credit. Fighting off those ropes again, the fatigue affecting the timing now and the accuracy of his punches. Curry still ignoring the advice from his corner to play it a little safe. Down to the final 20 seconds of this, the 14th round. A couple of tired welterweights who have given the fans here theirs money's worth and more. Giving us one of the better fights we've seen in a good long time. Toe to toe, they continue to fire leather at each other right down to the bell to end round 14. So there's a round to go as they bump on the way to Curry's corner. Starling with the 4th round was impressive, but Curry really has been in control all the way through. Teeing off, shot after shot, 3 of them right there. Good scoring blows by Donald Curry. The odd counter-punching flurry by Starling. In fact, in round 4, it looked like he might have stunned Don Curry a little bit. Curry hurt him in the 6th round and has subsequently fired stinging blows to Marlon. Working on the eye. There was the mouth that showed some blood earlier, and now there's a little slit just beside the left eye. A very handsome young man, soft-spoken, shy athlete from Fort Worth, Texas. Curry. Starling looks on mark. He does look very, very tired, however. Understandably so. Matt Buckley, his manager and trainer, with him in his corner. So it'll come down to the 15th and final round here for the WBA Welterweight Championship. And a standing ovation from the fans here, and rightly so. They have seen quite a battle. Milt McCrory looking on and perhaps not liking what he's seeing. Seeing a very crisp-looking Curry and a very fine combatant in the terms of the challenger, Marlon Starling. WBA World Welterweight Championship on the line, and Don Curry looks to have a big leg up on it right now in this 15th round. Teeing off on Starling again. Might have stung him with that punch, and maybe taking a bit more steam out of him as he backs him toward the ropes. Starling gamely counter-punching, but Curry coming in. Even in this 15th round, he must know he's got a lead. He looks like he wants to take Starling out. He has not backed off one iota. And of course, the busier he is, the less possible it is for Starling to mount the attack he probably needs to win this bout, and that is a knockout. Couple of minutes to go, the final round. And you marvel at how Starling has survived. Fired some wicked shots. Starling with effective blows, but many fewer of his own. He's hurt now. Starling looks really wobbly as he hangs on to Curry over on the far side. Smiles at him bravely, but was stunned by that series of blows. Still about half the 15th round to go. Again, I repeat, Curry looks intent on a knockout, and he's rocked Starling again with a good left hand after stinging him about 30 seconds ago. He will not let up on it. Both hands he unloads now. Starling felt the force of those blows. First the right and then the left hand. Pushing him out, going after him. Curry is after a knockout to end this. Not that he needs it, but that's the kind of style he wants to go out in. He simply hasn't given Starling a chance to mount a comeback in these last 3 rounds that might have been pivotal in the eyes of some judges. And he's taken away much of the earlier effective counter-punching ability of Starling. Donald Curry has come to slug and brawl, and indeed he's put on a show here that these fans and our viewers, I'm sure, will not soon forget. Pushed him hard into the ropes. Gets the caution from the referee, Joe Cortez. Just 22 seconds to go now in the bout. Curry will not let up. Well, the best defense being a good offense, that is what Donald Curry has shown us today in spades. That'll do it. Round 15, and the bout is over. We will have a decision from Atlantic City very shortly for you for this WBA championship. And while we await that decision, let's go back to New York, and here is Bill Fleming.
All right, Don.
This decision here, it would appear that Donald Curry has won a very big one. His second title defense against Marlon Starling, who sat back on the ropes the first 3 rounds, then got up on his toes, won the 4th round. He actually hurt Curry, it looked like, in round 4. Curry then got the fight going his way in the middle rounds, 5, 6, 7 at long range in the center of the ring. And from then on, the sheer power of Curry and the fact that he had worn Starling down in the early rounds, his dominance widened. And he, at the very end, was still pressing for a knockout that very nearly came in the 15th round as he rocked Marlon Starling midway in that round. Really hurt him. But Starling finished up. He was game. He's got to be tired. He's taken punishment, and he gave it all he had. There was no clowning this time, as he was accused of may have cost him the first bout. So the WBA Championship and the new International Boxing Federation belt on the line here this afternoon. And to the winner, presumably Don Curry. Some great opportunities down the line, along with Milt McCrory, the WBC welterweight boxing champion. Aaron Pryor, Roberto Duran, and Sugar Ray Leonard, the preference given by Donald Curry as to his future opponents, Duran or Aaron Pryor, 1 or 2. And then Leonard after that, because Sugar Ray will take some time. He's fighting Kevin Howard the end of this month in his first bout in a comeback that the boxing world anxiously awaits. But there's no question there is new life and new interest into this glamour division, the welterweight division, thanks to the return of Sugar Ray and the performance of a young man like Donald Curry and the courage of a man like Marlon Starling we've seen in this Atlantic City ring this afternoon. So Donald Curry established himself with authority as a very complete boxer here today, and the quiet young man who is shy and doesn't say much and isn't too flamboyant outside of the ring gave us quite a show inside this ring at Atlantic City this afternoon. David Gorman, the man who manages his affairs there with Donald Curry. They're both tired. Curry with a cut inside his mouth as he braces his opponent Starling now. Little slit beside the eye of Donald Curry. The only evidence that we could see superficially from a bruising 15-round battle here this afternoon. Now the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Bally's Park Place Casino Hotel, here is the official scoring. Judge Rudy Battle scores it 144 to 142. Arthur Mercanti scores it 145 to 140. Joe R. Garcia scores it 145 to 140 for the winner. And still welterweight champion of the world, Donald the Lone Star Cobra Curry.
Curry retaining his WBA welterweight championship impressively in Atlantic City this afternoon. ABC's Wide World of Sports has been brought to you by Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. By Radio Shack, the computer experts. And by new Gillette Foamy Gel with more lubricants for the closeness and comfort you want in a shave. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Tokyo for more top business centers with 3-class Royal Pacific service. This has been an ABC Sports presentation, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. This year, the Olympic tradition continues.
For the Magic Man, Marlon Starling will help the team.
Someday the judge becomes a vigilante.
This is a featured event of the evening and dedicated to a great friend of boxing from Florida, Mr. Mace Kleinman. This is 10 rounds of boxing in the junior middleweight division. Introducing in the red corner from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 154 pounds, his professional record 12 wins, 2 defeats with 6 knockouts. Here is Jihad Karim. And in the blue corner, from Pomona, California, he weighed in at an even 155 pounds. His professional record, 15 wins, 3 defeats with 12 KOs.